Hello, this is Game 575, Game Engine 2. This is Milestone 1 that includes PA3 and PA4. So in this uh, milestone, the PA3 is basically a converter that converts the FBX files to models in Agile files that those Agile files should be displayed in the PS3 folder, which includes the viewer, which is basically the game engine that we had last quarter in spring. So let's start. So this converter will convert the multiple FBX files along with their texture files. So those are the files. We have the Astro Boy, Buggy, and the Mario FBX that is I've downloaded from the internet as in category D. And there's the Space Frigate and the Werebeer with different textures. So I have created and included that batch file that calls the FBX converter. And this batch file is basically running the converter with different parameters of the different textures, and also it will create an Agile file with the default texture when I don't provide the needed texture. So it will add that default texture, which is basically the hot pink texture, to the model that where I don't provide the texture to. So when you click that batch file, it will run these commands that start the converter in multiple windows. So let's go a little bit deep into the converter code. So the converter is basically using the FBX SDK. It will extract the vertex data, and we can go through the triangle list and create that triangle list along with the vertex data, and then it will read the texture file provider, or either the one that is the default texture that we have here, and then it will, using the file library that we've created, it will create the package Agile file that will be used in the game engine with different along with their number and the offset of the each data chunk in the Agile file. It looks like that file has finished. So let's move. So it will place. So the input files are placed in an input folder, and the output folder will include all the Agile file extracted from the converter. So we can basically copy those files and place them into our engine, which is the viewer. Okay, so now we have our new files, Agile files, into our game engine. So let's see how it will be displayed. So let's run. So now I have all these textures models. So we have here the Space Frigate that is basically moving right to left, and we have here the Warbeer with different textures. So for that Warbeer, we called the converter without providing the needed texture, and so it took the default texture as its texture. And there is the so since it has different textures, so I created different models with different textures. And then we have the Astro Boy, the buggy car, and this is the model that I have added, which is the model of Super Mario, the game. So this is the game engine. So into that game engine, we just basically display the models, and then show them up, and we can rotate the camera, and then we can go up and down, right and left with the camera here. And these models are moving right and left in different directions, and the other models are moving up and down. And then I just fixed the positions of the other models. So there's a couple of things here to mention. So I have the Z and X buttons to show and hide the bounding sphere. That shows how far is the model, each model can is expanded to. So this is that shows the when we rotate that model, how it will go. So this is will be later used for the collision. Let's go there with the let's move to the details in the code. So in the game engine, I have tailored it a little bit to handle this kind of process. So I have created a class, specific class that is named APX model. So into this class, I will read through the Agile file and use the header of that file to extract and determine the positions of each data chunk. So I have here the number of vertices and the triangle list, and there's the offset for each data chunk. And again, I'm going to create the bounding sphere for each model when I create that. So this class has one method inside that actually do all the job, and it's taking the model name and the texture along with that texture name. So in here, just give it the Agile file name and the texture that should be linked to, and then we just use all these objects to show them up and create the bounding spheres for them. And I think that's it. Thank you.